Hello? Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're having a great season, and I hope you had a great game week 5. Cause it wasn't really great for me, guys. That was I was possibly the most disastrous game week I have had till date. I can't remember having a worse game week, to be honest with you. I mean, a game week rank of 9.3 million is not what I envisaged going into that game week with the team that I had. But whatever came to pass was just absolutely insane. But 31 points, and the overall rank just plunged, guys. The last 2 game weeks, my overall rank, I've been making aggressive transfers and the overall rank has been plunging, so I guess whatever doesn't suit my playstyle is just not for me, I guess. But right now I think I'm close to 2.7 million in the overall rank department. Not the best, I guess. But it's just the way the season has gone, guys. Just need to kind of claw back and plan for the future and claw back the best we can. It's just the start of the season, and I'm taking whatever comes in my stride. So except Haaland and Saka, I guess nobody gave any returns. Obviously, I had to kind of contend with Kabore getting 2 points from the bench because Estupinan did not play. Chilwell came on, got a yellow card, and Turner obviously conceded the goal, which we all were hoping he would not, or possibly he was our hero of the game week because he was the last player to play, and I was hoping he makes a hat-trick of penalty saves, but nothing of that order happened. So guys, Bruno Fernandes, lackluster, Maddison, Son, Sheffield United, they almost won the game, and then Richarlison late on he scored a goal, and then Kulusevski scored another one. Son was non-existent, so was Maddison. I don't know, guys. It was a weird game week to have, but it's over, and we're looking at a new game week 6. So we take it from here. I just had to get this out of the way. Hey Jackson, welcome to the stream, my friend. So guys, as of now, I have not made any transfers. And currently I'm just the plan is pretty simple. The plan is to just play the plan is simply to kind of play Jackson out for Alvarez. I think that's the easiest. The main decision for me this week is whether to play Joao Pedro, who scored 2 goals in the Europa League, by the way, guys. It It was a great match against AEK Athens. I actually watched the game live, and it was a really nice game to watch. So the decision this week is to actually whether to play two Spurs midfielders and one Arsenal midfielder in the North London derby. It's a little difficult one to kind of call, but that is my decision. Jackson, I'm fine, my friend. I hope you're doing fine. Geeta says Martinelli plus Madison. Martinelli plus Madison to Rashford and Trossard. No bench options as well, please, guide. I think Martinelli to Rashford should be good enough, my friend. You can keep Madison long term. He's still a decent option, you know. Although the next two game weeks or the fixtures are not that not the easiest. Obviously, Arsenal and Liverpool, but otherwise, I think Madison is a good pick for the long term. So if you want, you can keep him. FPL Sam, you just shared this team. Is it a leaked team from Twitter? If so, I'm just gonna go on Twitter and check. Guys, that's the Nottingham Forest team. Obviously, it doesn't make any difference because none of us have any Crystal Palace Nottingham Forest players that we're aware of. Yeah, but doesn't hurt to check, I guess. Turner, Aurier, Aina, Bowley, Nikate, Tavares, Dominguez, Sangare, Morgan Gibbs-White, Odoi, and Avanai. I mean, they played really well, Nottingham Forest, but Burnley just they were good as well. Abhijit says Foden, Jota, Jackson to Salah, Neto, and Alvarez. Yeah, I mean, you can do that, my friend. Neto, obviously, silently has been creating a lot of chances, and it's doing really well. So yeah, you can do that. I mean, it doesn't feel comfortable to transfer out Foden before the game against Nottingham Forest at home, obviously, but and from the leaks or from the information that we got from the forums and from FPL Main Road as well, they think that Foden is going to start, I guess. Yeah, overall, the moves looked good to me, Abhijit. I mean, Salah, Neto, and Alvarez, they all look good to me. Definitely a good move for a -4. Geeta says, can't transfer Martinelli to Rashford, no money in the bank. The problem with Trossard is, if you get Trossard now, as soon as Martinelli doesn't have a long-term problem, Martinelli just has like a tweak in his hamstring or something of that order. So, I mean, he's soon going to be back, and then you're going to have a problem, because we want players who play for the longer term, and we don't want kind of rotation players. That is the reason why I would avoid Trossard. I mean, if you want to get him for the short term, you can, but longer term, I don't think Trossard makes sense to me. FPL Sam says that's the team by FPL Heisenberg. Alright. So guys, FPL Sam has shared a team which is a Nottingham Forest team. If any of you are interested to get their players, obviously nobody is before the City game, but it doesn't make any difference. What we need is the City team, especially to know whether Alvarez starts or not. I mean, I've held off my transfer because City got some like really tough games coming up, and I was a little bit worried about the rotation. So I was just kind of wary about making my early transfers. I was waiting and to see what becomes of if we get any early team news. But what do we have until now? Let me show you, because FPL Main Road and obviously on Twitter, Luke have been kind enough to share their opinions. So FPL Main Road says Bernardo is not in the squad today. From what I know, this should be close to the 11, if not exact 11. I'm expecting the Pep rotation to come weekly versus Newcastle, not today. So this is the team which they expect. Phil Foden is expected to start. Haaland, Alvarez, Doku. So this is the front four, obviously, and followed by in midfield Nunez and Rodri, Guardiola and Kyle Walker, Akanji and Ruben Diaz. So this is the team. I think this is very close to the actual team, which is gonna be, So make of this what you want to, guys. This is not a leaked team news or anything of that order. It is just a predicted team. So just wanted to show you here. Hey, Matea. Hi, I know it's been a long time, my friend, and it's been a pretty difficult start to the season as well, my friend. It's been a struggle, bro. FPL Sam says maybe somebody needs Turner this game week too as well. Well, you know, playing Turner or playing no Turner, I don't think it makes a difference. It's just gonna get hammered, my friend. Last week, anybody who decided to not captain Haaland and captain Son or Madison, they were so lucky, so lucky. Haaland missed like 3 or 4 really awesome chances, guys. Amazing. I don't know how the non-Haaland captainers survived last game week. It's just beyond my understanding how he missed those chances. Akhilesh says choose 2: Watkins, Diaby, Akanji. I would choose Diaby and Akanji. Amit says, hey, with Son last week was a disaster. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't about the disaster, Amit. It was about taking a chance, and the chance just did not come off. And I have taken a few chances these last game weeks, and I've got no remorse that I've taken those chances. I mean, 2 weeks back, I brought in Sterling and Maddison in place of Rashford and Martinelli. It was a bold move to make, guys, and did not pay off because Rashford has been scoring ever since, and Martinelli's as well gave good returns. And last week I decided to take out Mbumo for Son, and that backfired as well. So I mean, I tried to kind of go for the, for the exciting and for the upside chasing. Just did not work out, guys, and obviously we accept that sometimes it happens that way. No problems. Akhilesh, I already answered that. I forgot to mention I have Walker too. Well, if you got Walker, then obviously Akanji is primed to start this game week, but Walker is more nailed on. You can start a double city defense against Nottingham. I don't think this is the end of the world. If you've got double city defense, play them, my friend. Kabore is worth to start. I mean, you can start Kabore against Wolves. Kabore has created a lot of chances, although he plays for Luton, so nobody actually gives him, a shout. But he has created a lot of chances this season. And if you see in the double game week coming up for Luton, you'll see how many people will actually play Kabore. Do you think Taylor continues to start for Burnley? Was 0.1 short of Flecken, so decided to go Taylor. The worst case is playing Cash versus Brighton next week. I mean, Cash is third for XG in the league right now, my friend. I don't think Cash is a bad option at all. So, I mean, if I was on a wildcard, I would definitely pick Cash. Taylor, it's a tough one to call, Matea, because he is like, I think he would start. In the notes which I have written, I do think that Trafford starts in goal along with Taylor on the left back, Baer, Alderweireld and Roberts. So that should be fairly standard. But I'm not sure for how long. If Burnley's fate doesn't change, Vincent Kompany might change a few things, But for now, I think he should start. Yep. If you're on a wildcard, I'd definitely pick Matty Cash for sure. Third for XG in the league. Mbumo or Sterling? Wow, tough question. That's a very difficult one to answer, Sushant. I'd play both of them, but both have got some good fixtures. Obviously, Mbumo's got the better fixture than Sterling. If I had to choose one, I'd possibly choose Mbumo. Sterling is flattered to deceive until now. One game week he scored 19 points, and then after that he was just absolutely crap. Hey, was any good Pickford replacement? I would go with Flecken, Gavin. I would think Crystal Palace goalkeeper would be good as well. But the problem is, you're never sure about Johnston. When he might lose his place. That's the issue. So I think Flecken is a good 4.5 million keeper. No, so I would absolutely go with Flecken if I wanted to go for the cheaper goalkeepers. Areola obviously is a good option as well, but the problem with Areola is this week he doesn't have a good fixture. Otherwise, I would think about Areola, I would think about Flecken, I would even think about David Raya as well. You know, these three. Play Madison or Morris? I would play Madison, Ananta. Obviously, I think Morris is good for next week. This week, I think I'd play Madison, especially if you have only one Spurs player. I mean, North London Derby is mostly a high-scoring game, so it's not like it's going to be a goalless draw or anything of that order, so I'd play Madison. He got in the team last week and played well. If I want to go Bear, Kabore, I would have to change Flecken for Turner. Yeah, I understand that. You can go with Taylor. I mean... the thing is, this week, in my notes, I expect him to start, and if it works out for Vincent Kompany, I don't think why he would want to change that. You know, obviously I have Bear in my team, so I'm not really concerned about the rotation stuff, but I guess you can take a chance, Matea. That's the only thing I can say here, because nobody can be certain about Taylor. All I can say is this week I expect him to start. Next week in the double game week, it depends on his performance this week. Amit says present team Onana, Chilwell, Saka, Bruno, Jackson, Holland. Thinking to save. Yeah. I mean, if only you want to make a transfer, you could take out Jackson for Alvarez. Otherwise, you could easily roll as well. Sylvester says, hi, I have Chilwell, Estupinan, Cher, Udogie, Diaz as in the midfielder from Liverpool, right? Diaz, Madison, Saka, Bruno, Rashford, Morris, Jackson, Holland. Currently benching Diaz and Udogie with one free transfer. Plan for Diaz to Eze or Mbumo, then we'll bench Diaz. Plan for Diaz to Eze or Mbumo. Yeah, I mean both Eze and Mbumo are great options, especially I mean, you know, for the next 2 weeks. Mbumo's got good fixtures as well, and so does Eze. Diaz has obviously been playing well for Liverpool as well. The issue is, you know, the really good fixtures start from game week 10 or game week, you know, after game week 9. So I mean, you can, if you want to move on Diaz, you can. One thing is, you know, those forward positions for Liverpool, none of the positions is really secure. So it's hard to say who's going to start, because they've got Gakpo, they've got Jota, they've got now Darwin Nunez. You know, all of them competing for the similar kind of spots in the team. So that's the only issue. Otherwise, I like the team. Or you could actually move out Jackson for Alvarez if you wanted. That is what I'm doing. I've had enough of Jackson. He's on 4 yellow cards, you know, and you know, it's just I've had enough. And Aston Villa at home is not an easy fixture, so I'm kind of thinking of moving him on. Yesa says, hey buddy, would you keep Jackson and Chilwell and go for a City midfielder and Botman to Saliba instead? Botman to Saliba? No, I would not take out Botman. I would actually keep Botman. I mean, if you're going Saliba to Botman, then I'd say yes. I think with Chilwell, guys, I'm keeping him because I feel that if you watch the last game, Mudryk didn't do too well. So I'm hoping that Pochettino brings back Chilwell to play on the wing. Even if I can get one more game out of Chilwell next week, I can move him on for Newcastle defender or such, you know. So it's just a chance I'm taking. If he doesn't play, then I've got Kabore coming off the bench. Last week, I mean, he came off the bench, got 1 point and 1 yellow card. So it was it was just you know, zero profit sum game, I guess. My transfer: Baldock, Son, Jackson to Trippier, Barnes, and Wilson. Do you think it's a good? Faiz, I think you're putting too many eggs in the Newcastle basket, and in those players which are not nailed on to start except Trippier. I mean, yes, Wilson might start this week, but you know that he's going to start for the rest of the weeks. You know, they've got Isaac to play in the same position, and you can't say with any fair amount of certainty which one is going to start. This week, I think Wilson is going to start because Isaac played in the Champions League game, of course, but it's the same with Barnes, you know. Sometimes, you know, Gordon is going to play there, Barnes is going to play there. And, you know, it's the same on the right-hand side with with Almiron. They've got so many options right now at Newcastle. So I would not put all my eggs in the Barnes and Wilson basket. Trippier is fine. If anything, you could possibly sell. I personally, I would just bring Trippier. That's about it, my friend. Barnes and Wilson, I think you should go for players who are more nailed on to start. Yesas says it is an early kickoff for City. Can see Alvarez blanking and then regretting selling Jackson. Well, to be honest with you, it's not really the early kickoff. This game week does not have any early kickoff. All the games actually kick off at the same time. So technically speaking, you're actually avoiding the early kickoff this time. But I do understand where you're coming from, my friend. And the only thing is, just can't. I could actually just bench Jackson and play Joao Pedro. That's also an option. But I think Alvarez looks good. Even if he returns in this game week, I'm already really behind in ranks. I don't want to be pushed back. I was one of the few people who actually picked Jackson from the start of the season, and it has backfired so badly, as opposed to those people who went for somebody like Alvarez. It's been horrible. All the 50-50s I've taken this season have been just not going my way. So I guess it's time to start playing conservative again. Sam has just reminded me. Forgot to set my deadline timer, guys. Apologies, but I'm gonna set it. Just give me a second, Sam. Thank you so much for your reminder. I was just too pestered by my last game week score, Sam. Apologies, guys. Hopefully the timer should be back. Please let me know if you can see the timer. Guys, is it back? Yeah, I think it's back. Zara says, hey Viz, almost forgot about the deadline. Well, Zara, that's what I'm here for. I stream regularly, so if you just open the YouTube or turn on your notifications, you'll never miss the deadline. Todd says, I can see the timer. Hello Todd, welcome to the stream, and thanks for the update, my friend. FPL Jug says, I already made my transfer. Alvarez in for Jackson and Haaland captain. That's exactly what I plan to do as well, Jug. I like that move. Much value on Villa European fatigue and rotation for keeping Jackson. Well, it is a European. It wasn't the best of the performances as well for Villa. So I personally feel that that's the reason I would not go for Villa assets right now. Obviously Diaby is on my radar when I wildcard, and so is Matty Cash. But if I'm not on a wildcard, I would not hurry to bring them in, and that's the thing. Yesa says, oh, okay, I have sorted my moves then. I guess Alvarez to Jackson, Jackson to Alvarez, and Botman to Saliba. Gonna give Chile another game week. Hopefully it's a huge game week this time. Yes, to be honest with you, right now we do not need a huge game week. Right now we just need to stabilize this wrecking ship, and after that, once it gets stabilized, we plug the holes, then we can go for the jugular. Right now it's just absolutely horrible. Any 50-50s we make, they're just going wrong this time, and it's not for me. I've never had a game week rank of 9.3 million. In 10 million players, having a game week rank of 9.3 million is absolutely abysmal, and my team was looking really good before the start of the game week. I don't even know what happened. So I gotta start taking calls like the way I always do on higher percentage players, rather than taking calls on players like Sterling and Son. These are the type of players I never really like bringing in my teams because of their streaky nature, But this time the fixtures were too enticing, and I tried to go for the upside. Just didn't work out. But we got a plan B, and we're gonna stick with what works. Bruno to Salah. Yeah, you can do it. Surfros, if you have Rashford, then you can do Bruno to Salah. Of course you can. But if you don't even have one Manchester City player, and then a Manchester United player, then you have to have one, because their fixtures are really good. Let me show you actually. Their fixtures are really good. If you see here, It is, sorry. So we got Burnley, Crystal Palace, Brentford, Sheffield, Fulham, Luton, Everton. I mean, they're good fixtures. So you should have one United player. If you already have Rashford, then I would say Bruno to Salah is a yes. Cinema Crazy says, would you do Vicario to Pope or Chilwell to Share or both? I would keep Vicario. I would do Chilwell to Share. That should be enough. Alright, Jared says it is back. Jack says, I'm inclined to take a hit and get Botman for Chilwell. Taking a hit for a player who has limited upside or not a very high ceiling is not recommended, Jug. The thing is, Botman is mostly a player who's going to get you 6 or 7 points, is not very attacking, doesn't get too many goals or assists, so taking a hit to bring such a player in, I would not recommend. You can just bring him next week if you really want. That's just my opinion. Alvarez and Foden start, says Lazy FPL, at the rate Lazy FPL. So we've begun to got news about Alvarez. So if he's starting, I'm happy to bring him in for Jackson. Todd says FPL Focal said the expert average score last week was 38, which was under the overall average. It was, Todd, but my team looked actually really good for the last week, and it's just horrible the way it panned out. But sometimes we just gotta do what we gotta do, and I'm stuck with Son and Madison and Saka before the North London derby, and it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to it's just hoping to survive one more week, or because these fixtures are not changing. So I have to take out one of Son or Madison before the Liverpool game. Just can't keep on letting them dent my team further. Start Madison or Pedro? I would start, as you see in my team, I'm starting Madison. Although I've got 2 Spurs players, I'm still starting Madison. I mean, Joao Pedro started in the Europa League game against AEK Athens. He scored a couple of penalties. So we can be sure that when he's on the pitch, he's on penalties for Brighton. But I'm not sure if he's going to start. That's the whole problem. I mean, I'm still contemplating whether, if as you see, I've put this poll as well, in which a lot of people are telling me to start Madison, but I'm still kind of considering, what should I do? Whether I should bring Joao Pedro for, one of these players and play Joao Pedro, because this fixture is too enticing against Bournemouth. It's a difficult one to decide, but it's a difficult decision. One way or another, it's a difficult decision. So Alvarez starting. We've got our confirmations from different sources, guys. Alvarez is definitely starting. So if you're thinking to bring him in for somebody like Jackson, you can, only on the basis that he is starting. Faz says, I've got 2 free transfers: Alvarez, Jota to Salah, Bruno. Watkins to Alvarez, Jota to Salah, Bruno to which 5.7 million midfielder. You can think of Neto, Faz. You can even think of somebody like Gordon. I mean, he's been starting games for Newcastle. He's been doing all right. He's 5.5 million, so there's not too much risk involved there as well. On the off chance, you can take a punt if you want on somebody like Rodri. If you don't have 3. Rodri's been really in the right places at the right time for City. I'm just saying, otherwise NATO is obviously the safer pick. Doku starts as well. So Alvarez starts, Foden starts, Doku starts. Guys, have we got the real news? Does Haaland start? That's the most important piece of news we need. Zara says, thoughts on benching any 2 of Saliba, Chilwell, Udogie for Estupinan and Botman. I would bench Saliba and Udogie, and I will play Chilwell. For the upside. Otherwise, obviously the safest is to play simply Saliba and bench Chilwell and Udogie. Faz, I agree with your 3 transfers. I do, yes. I agree with them. I mean, if you can just do 2 transfers, like Watkins to Alvarez and Jota to Salah, I would be happy, but I know you need the money, so I agree with those 3 transfers, as long as, you're satisfied with your 3rd midfielder which you bring. I like those moves, yes. Jackson, I am thinking to bring in Alvarez for for Jackson. You're welcome, Faz. You're always welcome. By the way, I mean, guys, the thing is, you also have to keep a close watch, especially those of you who are on wildcard. Just keep your eyes on these double game weeks coming up for Luton and Burnley. So if you can spare some, some enabler spots, definitely try to bring in players like Bear and Kabore, because you can play them in the double game week as well. FPL Sam says Aguero starts instead of Haaland. That's just Buna toying around. Yeah, I read that tweet as well. I think Haaland should be alright to start. I mean, if he doesn't start, then what can we do? But I think he should be alright to start. I'm worried about my team. This Son, Madison and Saka. I mean, Sunderland and Derby. It's it's just kind of difficult to play all these three of them in the same game, but not many options as well. Nobody's confirming about Haaland. I mean, I guess we're all just assuming he starts. Yesas says, I have played wildcard on my second team. Yesas, you should not make a second team. If you make a second team, you should definitely not be saying about it publicly, bro. It's not allowed in FPL, but it's alright. So, Flecken, Turner, Botman, Stupinan, Udogi. To be honest with you, when you make a second team, you're not really invested in FPL in the same way that you are when you just play with one team. I always have preferred just playing with my own team, and so I would also advise you to play with one team. That'll make FPL more interesting for you as well. And when you show your record, your overall rank, you always show your rank for just one team. So not really a point of making a second team. But yeah, I get your point. I'm also hoping for a high-scoring North London derby. I would be more comfortable having 2 players from Arsenal and 1 from Tottenham, because at Emirates it's hard to imagine Tottenham going and winning the North London derby. So it's difficult for me to play 2 players from Spurs, especially being an Arsenal fan as well. But obviously I don't let that affect my decisions. But they don't mostly win their North London derbies at the Emirates, and it's tough to play them both. Issue is Joao Pedro. I'm not sure if he's is gonna start after playing the full game against AEK Athens, albeit he scored both the penalties. It's a tough decision. That's the whole point about it. Lars says, thoughts on Reguilon. Lars, I think Reguilon is a decent enough option. That the problem is I'm not sure about what happens when Shaw comes back, because Shaw can obviously play in 2 or 3 positions. Actually, he just can play in 2 positions. He can play in a back 3, he can play in a back 2 as a centre back as well, or he can play at left back. But Reguilon, he just can play at left back. So it's a bit of a tough one to kind of call, as long as you're sure. Reguilon starts, then I think he's a good option, because he's an attacking left back by nature. Yesas says, the second team is my younger brother's. He stopped playing after the first game week, so just continuing with that. That's fine then, Yesas. I can understand. But I hope you do well on your own account, and and that's the most important thing that we need to focus on. So yeah, guys. I mean, this is the whole dilemma for my own team. Don't know. But just gonna go ahead and not bother with playing Joao Pedro. Hang on, let me go to my transfers page. Don't want to keep it too late, guys, because we've already got the news that Haaland, that Alvarez is starting. I might as well just make my move. So, goodbye, Mr. Jackson. Thanks for nothing. Moonwalking. You start moonwalking as soon as somebody passes the ball to you to score a goal. I'd rather you moonwalk after you score the goal and celebrate by moonwalking, not start moonwalking when somebody passes the ball to you in the box. Thanks for nothing. Bye-bye. See you never. Now, if he punishes me, I'm gonna be very angry. Yeah. So this is my transfer, guys. So, you know, nothing too complicated, guys. It's just a simple transfer. I guess the most common transfer of the game week. Sylvester says Foden, Eze, or Mbumo. I prefer Eze and Mbumo as compared to Foden for the longer term. Obviously, we've got the news that Foden is starting this game week. So if you're asking me for this game week, obviously I think Foden is a great pick. But longer term, I think Eze is and Mbumo, they're both good options, my friend. Diaz starts too. Well, thanks for nothing, Ruben Diaz as well. Ever since I've got him in the game against Sheffield United. This guy, man, City's just conceding 1 goal in every game. It's just so horrible, you know. I had the option to go for Botman early and to go for Ruben Diaz instead. I went for Ruben Diaz, and look at him, you know. It's just 1 goal against Sheffield United late, 1 against Fulham late, and 1 early goal conceded against West Ham United. That's so horrible to own a City defender right now. It's just difficult to state. What was the Stupinan problem last week? I don't think there was a problem. I think it was just because he came back late from the international break and he had traveled a lot, so he was rested. He played the full 90 and 100 minutes against AK Athens, so people are having doubts about his involvement again, and people are thinking maybe Tariq Lamptey can start again. I'm just taking a chance and starting him. If he starts, then fine. If he doesn't, then then just Kabore can just take over from the bench. Alvarez or Chilwell? I would start Alvarez. Haaland starts, say FPL Sam. That's great news, guys. The captaincy is locked. No issues there. Estupinan instead of Saliba for a -4. I would. The problem, if you don't have Estupinan, don't bring him in this week because you're not sure if he's going to start. You know, he played 90 or 100 minutes against AEK Athens, but if you own him, I would definitely play him over Saliba. That's the thing, Harry. Yeah, you know. So let's be clear. If you own him, play him. If you don't own him, don't bring him in this week. So if it's for a -4, then you're probably transferring on Saliba. I'd say no. Would you recommend Alvarez, Botman for Pedro, Chilwell for a hit? I think so, yes. Yashoka. I see the upside there because Alvarez, we already have news, is starting. Botman, we know is going to start. You're bringing in two starters for this game week at least, as opposed to Joao Pedro and Chilwell, both of whom we don't know whether they're going to start or not. Especially, you know, Chilwell, who was replaced by Mudryk last week, and obviously long term, I don't think Chilwell is a left winger. So as long as you know the Chelsea team don't begin to click, maybe he'll get an odd appearance. But I think the left back spot has been snapped up by Colville right for now. So in the end, I think Chilwell is going to be, you know, going to lose his place, you know. And if Mudryk doesn't start performing, that's the only situation in which we see Chilwell play long term. Pedro is the same situation. If Evan Ferguson is fit, when Welbeck is fit, you know, I don't see him starting a lot of games there. Although he scored a couple of goals in the Europa League, both were penalties. Merjuk says Chilwell to Botman, Foden to Salah, and Jackson to Alvarez with a -4, or Ruben Diaz to Botman, Jackson to Alvarez. I like the first move with the -4 more for the longer term. For the short term, I think the second move is fine as well. So if you're kind of using your wildcard in game week 7, game week 8, game week 9, then I think you can just do Ruben Diaz and Alvarez. But if you kind of want this team for the longer term and you don't want to wildcard, then I think the first move makes more sense. Another guy on Alvarez, I can't be asked. Well, it's not about another guy on Alvarez, my friend. It's just that I've tried going for the upside. I've tried going for Sterling and Maddison in the same game week. I tried going for Son. It's just weird set of results has just put me off. You know, these teams, they've been sitting off, especially Sheffield United. They've been sitting off teams, and you know, trying to hit them on the break and trying to just absorb the pressure. It's not really good attacking these teams. I think it's good to attack somebody like Luton, who try to play a more expansive brand of football. But I don't think it's a good idea to attack somebody like Burnley or somebody like Sheffield United. They're just too negative in their football. Guardiola starts as well. So guys, we've already got news that Haaland, Guardiola, Foden, Alvarez, Ruben Dias, Doku, they're all starting. So please, make of this information what you will. I'm not sure, Fadzali. I might not get Morris. I already have got 2 double game week players in Bayer and Kabore. I might just end up playing both of them. Watkins to Alvarez or Wilson for a hit. If you want to bring in Alvarez, that's fine. I wouldn't bring Wilson for a hit because Wilson is not nailed on for the longer term, my friend. My question about Maddison. What's your question? Is it worth Maddison to Mbumo, Chilwell to Trippier, or you reckon Chilwell start? Even if Chilwell starts, I still reckon Maddison to Mbumo and Chilwell to Trippier is a good move. Even Chilwell to just Trippier is a good move. I like those moves. Hey Himanshu, welcome to the stream. It's good to see you, my friend. Himanshu says, Wiz, hope you're well. I'm doing fine, and I hope you're good as well. Doesn't make sense getting in a Spurs player this game week, does it? Himanshu, to be honest with you, I don't think it makes sense getting in a Spurs player this game week. Even if you saw the game last week, they were losing until 90 minutes. It was just that Richarlison came on, got that goal, and after that Kulusevski scored another one. It was a heart over head win, but they were stopped by Sheffield United for the longest of the duration. So North London derby at the Emirates, I personally would not bring in any Spurs player this game week. I think you should wait until game week 8 to bring any of their players now. Even next week against Liverpool, I would not bring any of their players. Start James Ward-Prowse or Martinelli. Devendra, I would possibly start James Ward-Prowse because I'm not even sure if Martinelli is fit, because he felt something in his hamstring after scoring that goal against Everton, and he did not play in the Champions League or even on the bench in the Champions League. So even if he is fit or deemed to be fit, I don't see him starting because Trossard has scored both the goals against Everton and in the Champions League as well. So when he's playing well, I don't think that Arteta would want to replace Trossard with Martinelli so quickly. Lighter says, hey everyone, sorry I'm late. My question is Saliba or Chilwell to Botman. Lighter is welcome to the stream. You're not late. You still got 20 minutes to the deadline, so we hope we can answer your questions right now. Your question is Saliba or Chilwell to Botman. I would do Chilwell to Botman because I think Saliba is at least a nailed on player. With Chilwell, we're not sure he's in and out of the team. So yeah, that would be my opinion. If Haaland starts, we've already got the news that Haaland starts, guys. So I would definitely like to move my vice captaincy. Do not want to vice captain from the same team, although it won't make a difference because he's starting. So even if he gets taken off in the first 15 minutes, it's still vice captaincy won't matter. But just for the sake of simplicity, not vice captaining the same player from not the same player, but a player from the same team. Majruk says, I want to bring in Salah this week. In order to get him, whom would you suggest me to transfer out between Maddison and Mitoma? I would transfer out Maddison. CAV says, hi, Wiz, quick one. Hey CAV, I hope you're doing well. Baldock plus Pedro to Botman plus Archer, or Baldock plus Sterling to Botman plus Mbumo? I would do Baldock plus Pedro to Botman plus Archer because this gives you more money. This sets you up for as long as you're not going to wildcard in game week 8. I mean, Sterling, Baldock plus Sterling to Botman plus Mbumo is a more upside move, but then you will be stuck with Pedro in your team. The first move actually takes some money off the table, and then you can have that money to reinvest in the midfield later on as well. So it depends on your horizon. How long is your horizon of these moves, CAV? Bro, what about Walker? I think Walker should start, Navneet. I don't see any reason why Walker should not start. But with Akanji being back, we cannot be fully sure. FPL Sam, do we have any information about Walker starting? If you have, please let us know. I'm looking on Twitter right now, my friend. I'll let you know if I can have some information about Walker. Right now, the only players... Haaland, Doku, Alvarez, Foden, Guardiola, Akanji, Diaz, Walker, all start. So this is a tweet by Focal, FPL Focal. I'm just tweeting it so all of you can read it and you can see who starts. Gavin says, Wiz, do you think Pope is greater than Pope to Pickford is a... or Pickford to Pope, right? I mean, you can bring in Pope. Obviously, he's definitely a good option, my friend. Because Pickford is abysmal, my friend. Absolutely, he's been abysmal. I mean, he's not been abysmal. His team has been abysmal. It's not like Pickford has been making personal errors and he's been conceding goals. It's just that Everton defense is absolutely, it's not good at all. So if I was you, if you don't have any other transfers to make, then you can get Pope. I mean, if you don't want to get priced out, of other to bring in other Newcastle players, or you don't want to book a Newcastle spot, then you can think about Flecken as well. Flecken is a decent option too. Start Maddison or Son this game week. Going for 3 strikers up front, need to bench a midfielder. If I had to bench one, I would possibly bench Maddison because I think Son is on penalties for Spurs. When else is looking good to wildcard other than game week 8? I mean, you can wildcard in game week 9 as well. It's not necessary to wildcard in game week 8. I'm looking at a game week 9 or game week 10 wildcard depending on depending on how I feel about my team, Todd. The issue is to kind of navigate the international break, let the players come back, maybe play one game week and then decide to pull the trigger on my wildcard. In case I don't really always fix a game week for my wildcard. In case next week I feel that my team is absolutely horrible and the decisions that I've been making or sticking with are not working, then I might even pull the trigger earlier, because I don't want to be pushed around too much. And when you at the start of the season, it's fine to be at 2 million, 2.5 million rank, but as we come closer to game week 10, game week 12, the ranks begin to normalize, and then later on it becomes very difficult to push up the ranks as long as you do not take too many risks. So we want to be careful about what we are doing, and so I want to stay in touch, and that is why I'm keeping my wildcard floating. Technically speaking, I'm possibly going to play in game week 9 or game week 10 to target those Liverpool and West Ham fixtures, and Aston Villa as well. Start Chilwell or Colwill? I would start Colwill over Chilwell. Diaby or Watkins? I would start Diaby over Watkins. Navneet says, Arsenal are playing Bournemouth next week. Should I save Ramsdale? I don't think Ramsdale gets ahead of Raya at this moment in time. I think David Raya has been playing so well ever since he's come in the team. It's been 2 games. I know it's not a big sample size. Everton and PSV Eindhoven in the Champions League, but Raya has been so much more secure with his handling, with his catching the crosses in the box, as well as his proficiency with the ball at his feet. So I think David Raya is not losing his place anytime soon, my friend. So last question, how does it look? Ruben Diaz to Botman, Maddison to Salah, Jackson to Alvarez. Yeah, I like that, Majruk. That's fine. Ruben Diaz to Botman, I don't like. I'd prefer you to do Chilwell to Botman simply. Barry says, hey Wiz, almost forgot about the deadline. Well, Barry, we've got the counter for you. Still 13 minutes to go. Yeah, so you're right in time, my friend. Hit me with the questions and make your moves quickly. No news about Walker. FPL Sam, I've read about on FPL Focal Street. He says Walker starts. So I just relayed the same information. Kabore or Saliba? Out of those two, I'd possibly play. The Kabore is one of the most creative defenders in the league. Is creating a lot of chances. The problem is Luton do not have the players to finish those chances. So I'd say Kabore has a higher ceiling this game week. Saliba has the higher floor. I would possibly take a chance and start Kabore if you're feeling more upside, but I think the more conservative move is to go with Saliba. Already looking at Ramsey on wildcard now that he's back. Well, you're an Aston Villa fan, so you already know, you know more about Aston Villa than I actually do. Start Udogie or Gabriel? I would start Gabriel, my friend. Wiz, what's Emma's prediction about Chilwell starting? I'll actually take you to Emma's predictions and I'll show you guys. Just give me a second here, guys. Let's go to Jump the Wave at the rate Jump the Wave and Emma. And let me show you guys. Don't worry about it. I got you covered here. So this is Arsenal's predicted 11. Not much surprises, except I think Vieira starts in place of. So in Chelsea commentary, as you can see in the Brighton commentary, they don't show Pedro to start. So, all the Welbeck is 60%, but nobody knows for sure. Hang on, guys. Let me show you the Chelsea predictions. This is Aston Villa, Newcastle, Chelsea. There it is. All right, guys. So as you can see, Jackson, Sterling, 100%, Enzo, Gallagher, Gusto. Who is this guy? I don't know. Colwell, Silva, Disasi, Chilwell, 72%. In the predictions, it is 72%. I think Chilwell starts this. I mean, if you look at Mudryk, where is Mudryk? Mudryk is 28%. So either Mudryk starts or Chilwell starts. It's either or. Let me go back to the main page. We don't have much time left right now. Need to answer some quick questions here. All right. Himanshu says Diaz, Chilwell, Estupinan, Gabriel. Pick 3. I pick Diaz, Chilwell, and Estupinan with Gabriel on the bench. Himanshu. Do I start Guardiola or Chilwell? I would start Guardiola. Or get Trippier for Chilwell and bench Gabriel. I mean, you have Gabriel on the bench. You've got decent cover. You can take a chance and start Chilwell. I mean, Aston Villa game is not the easiest, so we should not expect a lot. But it's a move which you can delay as well. That's the only thing I'm saying. If you want more information, if you're already decided you want to get Trippier, then you should simply just take out Chilwell for Trippier. That's absolutely fine. If you don't have any other moves to make, this is a good time to make that move. For me, I obviously had another fires to put out. Otherwise, I would have just taken out for Trippier as well. Foden, Jackson, Jota to Salah, Alvarez, and Neto logged in. Abhijit, I like those moves. They're good moves, my friend. I like those moves. I think they're good enough. Todd says Madison to Mbumo. Odegaard to Mbumo, or roll the transfer. Trying to save my wildcard until game week 89. So you basically want to play your wildcard like a free hit. I like that. I understand what you want to do there, Todd. Madison to Mbumo. Odegaard. I think Madison to Mbumo makes a lot of sense. For the next 2 weeks, I don't think Madison's that hot as a prospect. I think you can do Madison to Mbumo. Out of those two, Odegaard to Mbumo and Madison to Mbumo, I think Madison to Mbumo makes more sense to me. You can roll the transfer, but if you want to go for the upside, I think this is the upside which you want to chase. Todd, if you save your wildcard until game week 18 or 19, you're just going. You can then use your second wildcard as a free hit later on. So I like that. Actually, think Ramsey back helps Watkins. Now someone will be on the left wing. Watkins should be more central. Yeah, I understand that. Do I bring in Alvarez for Watkins? I think you can, Marco. Doku or Mbumo? I would go with Mbumo. Shaw replacement, please. No cash for Trippier. Downgraded replacement for Jackson. Don't want Alvarez. Obviously, Achutan, if you want a Shaw replacement, you don't want Trippier, you can go with Shearer or Botman. I think they're the Newcastle defense is the one to go for right now. If you don't want to go for Newcastle defense, you can think about going with the Crystal Palace defense as well. They are the options at this moment in time. Tricky one. Should I start Cash or Chilwell? If I was you, I'd start Chilwell. Although Cash has the third highest XG in the league, this game, if Chilwell starts, I think you should do well. But you've got great options, so any one of the two should be fine. Razat says Diaby or Madison, who to start? I would start Diaby. It's a difficult one, Razat, to be honest with you. But if you've got Son as well, then I would start Diaby. If you don't have Son, then possibly Madison. Who's on penalties for Chelsea? Still Enzo after missing one. God knows, CAV. I've got no idea, my friend. I think it's Enzo Fernandez still, but they've got to win a penalty to actually know who's on penalties. That's the whole issue. I wouldn't be surprised Chelsea winning a penalty and Jackson stepping up to take the penalty after everybody's transferring him out. But then he forgets that he's on 4 yellows and he takes off his goddamn t-shirt and celebrates and is gone for good. Foden not starting. Was going to do Henry and Jackson out for Botman and... Foden is starting, Barry. Whatever we've got from the leaks, they say that Foden is starting. So you should be fine there. Henry and Jackson to Botman and Højlund. Rasmus. I like those moves. I would go through with those moves. I would not worry about Foden for this game week. I think he starts this game week. You're always welcome, Todd. You're always welcome, bro. Light says, I can get Rashford or Saka to Salah this week if I want. You think it's worth it? Lighters, I think you can hold this transfer off. I think Rashford is doing well. He's scoring goals. I don't think we need to really get rid of Rashford. Saka is fine in the North London derby as well. Guys, not much time left. Please lock your teams. I want to repeat, please lock your teams. Gio1 says, hi Wiz, which transfer would you prioritize? Gabriel to Botman or Jackson to Alvarez Edward? Gio1, I think I would I personally, obviously, I had the same dilemma as well, and I've moved on Jackson for Alvarez because I think Gabriel, obviously, Arsenal have got... hang on, just... If you see Arsenal's next fixture, they've got Bournemouth away, so I think we can play Gabriel in this fixture. So I don't think, getting a Newcastle defender is a must-have, especially if it's not Trippier, because Trippier offers you something in attack as well. The others are just basically 6-pointers, not with a very high ceiling. So I don't think it's like a must-have. So Alvarez is starting. We already know the news, and we can go for the upside against Nottingham Forest at home. So that's the reason I made this move, my friend. Cannon Fodder says, already have Botman. Should I do Chilwell to share for a free? I don't think so, my friend. I think this week you can keep Chilwell. Starting Leno, yeah, that's fine. I think Leno's a good keeper in any way. I mean, it's the highest point-scoring goalkeeper in the league as of now. Although I don't think he's going to keep a clean sheet against Palace, but it's still a good keeper to have. Guys, lock your teams, please. Should I start Barnes over Saka or Mbumo? I would not start Barnes over Saka or Mbumo. Subhajit Ghosh says, Guardiola starting. What about Estupinan and Chilwell? No idea, Subhajit. I think Chilwell is going to start. With Estupinan, we're like 50-50. Flecken or Ederson? If you're a wildcard, I would possibly go with Flecken. I think City's got too good, like a lot of assets which you want in the outfield, so I don't think you want to go with their keeper. I think Flecken is going to be alright. Doku or Mbumo? I would go with Mbumo. I started Leno because I've got Ramsdale. Well, you've got your decision made for you. Even if you started Ramsdale, Leno's going to come anyway, so it's not going to matter in the end, my friend. So guys, here's my refresh team for all of you to see. I've made my decision. I'm playing with 2 Spurs player and 1 Arsenal player in the North London derby. Maybe not the ideal situation to be in, but I made my decision. Gonna stick with my decision. Yes, I want to play João Pedro against Bournemouth, but I don't think he starts is the issue. If he starts, gets some good points, then all be well. I can't do anything about it. Captain is Haaland. Vice captain is doesn't matter who is the vice captain. Is March gonna start? That's a difficult question because March came back from an injury, and he kind of played the full game. But personally, if you ask me, I think March should start because of the injuries to other players in the similar positions. So because Pascal Gross got injured, and there's a couple of niggles. But Adingra did well last week, so it's a difficult one to call. Personally, I think because they lost the game, I think he would want to start March. Who's yellow flagged? March? No, March played in the Europa League. March is fine. I don't think there's any issues with March. Guys, lock your teams. 3 minutes to go. Fear the hamsters. The issue is all the usual suspects are starting, Todd. So I don't think the hamsters are having to work really hard. I think we should be fine. But do not leave your decisions so late, guys. After every stream, we've got a couple of people saying, "Oh, I just missed the deadline. Oh, I was just busy making my decisions. I missed the deadline." I don't like that, guys. Please, just lock your teams, guys. Do not. What's the point of contemplating, thinking so much, planning so much if at the end of the day you're going to miss your deadlines? Barry says, Chilwell is Stupinan, Diaby or Madison. Need to bench one for Botman. I would not bench an attacking player for a defender. I would bench one out of Chilwell or Stupinan, my friend. I guess Chilwell then. You know, Barry, because Estupinan has got a game against Bournemouth. If Estupinan does not start, I don't see him coming on. So I think you're safe enough putting in Estupinan and benching Chilwell. So if in case Estupinan does not play, then Chilwell comes in automatically. That's just my opinion, bro. It's a difficult question. Marco says, I did Watkins to Alvarez. I have another free transfer. Is it worth taking off Pickford for another keeper, and who? I mean, if you want, you can take him off for Flecken, which is obviously a good move, or you can take him off for David Raya as well. Although David Raya this week, I don't think he's going to keep a clean sheet against Tottenham. But longer term, I think David Raya is going to be a good keeper for Arsenal. Otherwise, you know, because it's such a quick decision you're looking to make, so you can hold off this move. Because next week, you know, you're going to have this dilemma of double game week players and all that stuff. So and these transfers will come in handy for you, my friend. Maybe you can bring in a double game week keeper or something of the order. So I'd say don't panic and make another transfer. Just keep what you have for now. You're welcome, Marco. Always welcome. Barry, you're welcome, my friend. I'd love for you to come to the stream on time, but you still came with 20 minutes remaining. Starting Diaby plus Watkins over my Chelsea defenders, maybe thinking with my heart. Well, you've got Aston Villa in your name. You got to live up to it, my friend. Play Chilwell or Cash. I would play Chilwell over Cash. I will play Chilwell over Cash. Will Mitoma start? I think Mitoma will start, yes. Guys, lock your teams, please. 11 seconds to go. What are you doing? Lock your teams, please. All of you. No more questions, please. Oh, man. Good luck, CAB. I hope you do well. Even though I've got 2 Chelsea players, I would love for you guys to go there and smash them. These goddamn Chelsea headsets have been nothing but a pain in the, you know, dash. So yeah, I guess we got through the deadline. So guys, it's deadline. I hope you all locked your teams, even the ones who kind of asked some late questions, guys. I was worried about you. Oh my god, that was so close, says Sully. It is my first time going differential. I did it. What are you doing, Fadzali? Tell me, who is your differential? Thanks for answering all my questions, says no worries, my friend. You're always welcome. And that's what we try to do on this stream. Since we've got, you know, a smaller sample size, and we always try to answer all the questions. FPL Jack says posterior. Yeah, posterior, that's right. Not dash. Last game week left me traumatized. It left everybody traumatized, my friend. I've never had a game week rank of 9.3 million. Out of 10 million players, I'm in 9.3 million. That's like, goddamn, you know, coming last in a race in which there's only one participant. That's how I felt like, you know, what the hell, man? I mean, goddamn. It was such a beautiful. I had such a beautiful team. I was hoping for a good game week. I brought in Son against Sheffield United after his hat trick, and I was hoping for, if nothing else, for an average game week. And I've got 31 points. It's absolutely horrible. Horrible. Todd says, "Good luck, everyone. No FOMO and Zen." Thank you so much, Todd. I hope you have a great game week. Your Alvarez pick was inspired at the start of the season. I love that. Madison to Doku, Saliba to Trippier, Jackson hat-trick. If Jackson gets a hat-trick, man, I'm gonna be pissed off. That's all I can say right now. You know, you gotta behave on the stream. Sully says, are we gonna do game prediction? Sully, to be honest with you, looking at last week's results, I don't think predictions make any difference. This goddamn, we've got no clue as to what's gonna happen this season. So by the way, I've got a rush off today as well. I've got to take my son somewhere, so not gonna do predictions anyway. But predictions are gonna be back next week, guys. So I hope you can bear with this, and I'm definitely gonna do predictions next week. Barry says, "Oh man, we're gonna climb back." Definitely, Barry. I've been in worse positions. I've been at 3 million, 4 million ranks at the start of the season to climb back into the top 100k, but it requires a lot more analysis, a lot more diligence, and some luck as well. And obviously, at the start of the season, the luck has not gone my way, but I'm hoping that, in time the variance is going to fall in my direction, and for the variance to fall in my direction, I'm going to start playing conservative as I always do. I made a couple of upside move decisions in the case of bringing in Sterling and Madison in the same game week and transferring out Rashford and Martinelli, and then transferring out Mbumo to bring in Son. In hindsight, obviously they were not the best decisions, but sometimes you gotta take these decisions if you really want to go to the top, because every time the FPL season starts, the willingness or the aim is always to go and try and win FPL and try and get the best rank that you can. So we always try to go for a few sensible but risky decisions. If you can kind of understand what I'm trying to say here. We hasten, but we hasten slowly, In FPL, we hasten slowly. This time I made 2 back-to-back hasty decisions. Did not work out, but that's how it happens sometimes, my friend. And I got no remorse about the decisions I made, because they were all well thought out decisions. FPL, Fadzali says, I just know I need to relax when I saw Wizzes below me in the league. Well, that's nice, Fadzali, I'm just gonna try my best to come back. Have a nice weekend, Surfrose. Sally says, very true. All good teams lost first half and then came back second half, so not consistent. Absolutely, my friend. And I gotta take my son away as well, so I guess no predictions for today. But guys, thank you so much for being here on today's deadline stream. I hope game week, if you did not have a good game week 5, I really hope game week 6 is going to be better than what game week 5 brought. And I just hope we can claw back the ranks that we've lost in the last 2 game weeks. And wishing you all a great game week and a good weekend of football. Till then, take care, guys, and I'll see you for the next deadline stream. FPL Wizards signing out. May the arrows be green. Bye bye, everyone. Have a great weekend.